Hi and welcome back to the channel. As you know, I've been having one of my 2 yearly depressive episodes. It usually starts sometime in May, goes on till sometime in June, but this one has extended. I don't know why for sure, but I can have a guess. I've been having problems with my health, my physical health, and I've also been, my carer, who is also my ex-wife, she's having a lot of medical problems too. So I'm being stressed. Stress triggers my depression. I'm also now 3 weeks into having one-to-one psychotherapy over a video call. I opted for that because it's the quickest way of getting any treatment. And for those of you who don't know what psychotherapy is like, when you start off, you sometimes get worse because you're dredging up feelings that you haven't dealt with. In my case, I'm hitting the ground running this time because I had EMDR therapy to help me with the PTSD symptoms I was having following my time on the COVID ward in 2020. All the stressful feelings that came from that, and while I was having that, it uncovered, or there was a link to previous traumas in my life. So what we're doing this time, unfortunately with a different therapist, I don't know whether she only does EMDR or whatever. It would have been nice to have had the same therapist, but then sometimes different therapists bring out different things, so it's also good to change therapists. But we've decided to hone straight in on the earlier life problems that informed the delusions I was having while I was on the ventilator on the COVID ward. And because of that, I think that's now extending even further along the year than my depressive episode normally would be. Now, some people would probably say, you're in therapy, you should be all right now, you should be able to cope. No, as I said, sometimes therapy, when it starts, even if you've had therapy before and you've had a break, which you have to have a break of at least a few months between group or one-to-one therapy. See, my brain has just jumped a track. I don't know what I was saying. break in therapy. If you've had a break in therapy, when you come back, it's like starting therapy all over again, because it is, and it will sometimes trigger, especially if it's targeted like this time. I'm having to deal with memories I would rather not remember, but memories that are stuck with me, and I'm trying to process them. So sometimes when you have a break and you come back to therapy, just because you're in therapy does not mean to say you're going to be better. Sometimes you get worse before you get better. Sometimes therapy might help you cope forever. Sometimes it's just helping you get back to some kind of normal for you. And I always say, if you suffer from depression, especially if you've got multiple depressive problems, this is where a normal person's happiness level would be. I think that's about halfway around along the screen. Someone with depression, especially if it's multiple, or if you've got dysthemia, which is a chronic long-term thing, you're looking at, this is your normal. You may never get up to this. And, you know, sometimes when you go into therapy, if you're here, you will go down, then you may go up. You may be lucky, you may get to this level, what everybody else has. Sometimes you'll just go from where you've been due to this crisis, and you'll just go back up to where you were. You normalise to your average. And that doesn't mean to say that the therapy hasn't been successful. It just means that you're still depressed, you're still being affected by it. You're just at the best you will be. And I think because I don't know why it extended as far as it did, but now I know it's been extended now because of the therapy I'm having. I'm having to deal with some very horrible thoughts from my past, and they're distressing, and it's also dragged up not just the thing that influenced what delusions I had when I was on the COVID ward. It's also dragged up other memories from that time. Memories that I couldn't shake. Or memories that I have, you know, there are certain things that I have, certain memories that are ingrained in my memory. And then there's others that were pushed down so far, I cannot remember them. Didn't even remember having them. When you start digging around to solve one, you normally drag up a load that you didn't remember. And I think that's something that people who don't have depression or have had a depressive episode, but they're normally up here on their happiness level, they've gone down a bit and they get up to here again and they're okay. That's their average. The normal, let's say. The average for the population is the middle of the screen. And then you can get happy, delirious, or you can go down into the depressive range, which is where I'm stuck. And like I said, I don't think people understand that. And people say, you know, pull yourself together, blah, blah, blah. Get over it, suck it up, buttercup, all that. And we can't. It's not something you just suck up, because as I've said before, let's compare it to a broken leg. If you break your leg, you do not suck it up, buttercup, and go out for a run. You can't, because there is a weakness in your leg. Although it's not a weakness as such, when you've got a mental health problem, especially depression, your brain is working against you. There could be some evolutionary reason for depression. You know, it protects you from people taking advantage of you because you withdraw from everybody. I know I have. I've withdrawn. I do not like people. People bring out the worst in me, apart from my ex-wife. She calms me. She's the only person I can really spend any time with before wanting to pull out my hair, smash my teeth in and headbutt the door. I can deal with people on a very short term. I can even have what appear to be quite happy exchanges with people. It is exhausting. But, yeah, it's just hard to get people to understand how this works. Also with my medication, with the hot weather, one of my medications stops a body from being able to regulate body temperature, so I overheat very quickly. I don't eat as much in hot weather, I just drink a lot. But something that's happened in this recent depressive episode is my sleep has got a hell of a lot worse. I go to bed, I wake up within an hour and a half, 2 hours, and I'm waking up every couple of hours. So I'm not getting enough sleep. Not enough sleep feeds into the depression, the tiredness, and just the absolute low mood. And I've got no explanation for why my why my sleep schedule is so bad, or why my sleep is so fractured at the moment. I don't know why. Nothing else seems to have changed other than I'm feeling under the weather. I'm worried about my ex-wife. So I'm not getting the right sleep. I'm overheating. I am being dragged down further into the abyss, and I'm just sick of it. I really am. I'm sick of having to explain this shit to people. I think that's something else that makes people with chronic depression worse, is we have to keep explaining ourselves, especially if you're on benefits. You end up having to keep explaining why you can't work. Oh, you're making videos on YouTube. Yeah, doesn't take much to stand in front of a camera. I don't edit, I don't do anything. I just stand in front of the camera and then upload it. There is not much effort in that. And you have to justify yourself to get what little money you get. I'm thankful for the money I get. It allows me to have some level of a life, but then there's people who think that I'm jetting off on fucking holidays and stuff like that. Well, if you'd seen my passport that I renewed about, I don't know, I can't even remember. I haven't gone abroad anywhere. I haven't gone anywhere in the UK either. My last holiday was something like 2010. No, tell a lie. 2021, my ex-wife took me about an hour's drive from where I live, because I was still suffering from the worst effects of COVID, post-COVID, and we couldn't go far. She wanted to get away, so she booked us into a hotel. I didn't realise it was so close, otherwise I could have just gone out for a, taken the car she'd hired and gone out each day. But we went away. It got us away from here, got us away from our troubles for a while. But we didn't go far, and we couldn't go out for long. We went out for days. We didn't go out until quite late, not because we weren't up. It was just I didn't have the energy. And then by the time 6 o'clock came around, we had to be back at the hotel because my energy level was gone. I needed to sit down like no one's ever needed to sit down before. Lay down, whatever. Not sleep, just to lay down because my body was so racked. But I still have to justify my existence. Even though I did a lot or tried to do a lot of good when I was able to. And now I'm not able to at all. Anyway, it's gone a bit off subject. I do apologise. But that's my brain. I can't concentrate. I go off on tangents and can't seem to find my way back. Anyway, if you found this useful, if you've seen yourself in this, then please let me know in the comment section below, because as much as I do these videos to inform other people, non-sufferers, I also do it so that sufferers know they are not suffering alone. If you like the video, maybe not the content, but you like the fact that I've got the guts to talk openly about my depression, click the like button. And if you want more videos on various subjects presented by me, then why not think about subscribing and click the notification bell. If you don't click the notification bell, then you're not gonna be able to find my videos next time you come online. And I hope to see you again soon.